sigh and take a deep breath in and let it out slowly, readying myself. Please, Helena, do not make me wait another second. I am curious what you did in the dead of night. I can't help but notice how the sarcasm oozes out of my mouth and into her ears. The look on her face says she hates me. But the reality is that I am the only person she can talk about anything with and not have judgment passed. She knows that if her scandalous behaviors were to be shared knowledge, she would be shamed and written entirely out of her father's good graces. We all know that without him and his power, she is nothing. Mina! I look up at her. Yes. She is batting her long black lashes at me and pouting her thick red lips. Begging is not her best tactic, but she tries. Will you run me a hot bath while I finish telling you my story? Oh God, she is talking in her begging baby talk voice. I am a little surprised when I hear her say, "Finish telling you about my story." I didn't even notice that she had begun. I look at her and smile. Yes, Helena, if it will make you happy. I look back and smile as I walk into my bathroom. Of course she would want to use my bath to wash her filth and sin away. No one will come looking for her in my room so she can soak her bruised and sore body. I know that my heart is saving myself for love, but I also think about the years that I have spent covering for Helena, thinking back on all the times that I have washed her body, seen her bruises, and tended to her raw knees. I have always been amazed that the men who do this to her are also smart enough never to touch her face. I am also amazed that, of all people, she allows this to happen. Helena says she likes it that way, but I can't imagine how that could be true. I hear her voice being drowned out by the running bath water. I watch the steam rise off the water, and I walk over to the wall to turn on the floor and room heaters. I know that if the chamber is not perfect temperature, she will cry and whine when she walks in. I walk over to my vanity table and look at my reflection in the mirror. My olive skin has paled during the winter. My long black hair is always pinned up during the day. My green eyes look tired because I haven't been sleeping well lately. My body is thin but not skinny. I don't have large, ample breasts like Helena. Mine are medium and perky. I think that if I had to carry that kind of weight around, my back would hurt with all the work that I do. I almost never wear makeup because I don't like the way it changes how I look. I have lived in Helena's shadow my entire life, and I prefer it that way. I think that I am pretty, but I am also very average. That is why it has been so easy to go unnoticed for 20 years. I stick my tongue out at myself and roll my eyes. I open the drawer and pull out some old magic to heal her young body. I add arsenic to the hot water for her bruises and lavender for her sore muscles. I light my lavender and sage smudge stick and call her into the room. Helena, continuing with her story, shouts out, "Then, when I thought I couldn't take another hard cock in my tight pussy, a third one was shoved in. Before I knew it, they were ramming me into the poker table." I felt like my body was being ripped in half. All three of them at the same time shot their hot spunk into me. My utter disgust must have been evident because she stood there looking at me like I had the head of an Olog high troll growing out of my forehead. What, Mina? The silence was all there was between us. I pull out my best poker face and smile. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Helena. Now stop talking and get in the bath. She walks over and kisses my cheek. Then she walks over and dips her toes into the bath water to check it. Smiling, she looks up at me. You are so good to me, little Mina. I don't know what I would do without you. I don't know what it is about you, but you always know the exact remedy I need after a night like last night. She pauses and then dips her body in the hot water, taking a deep breath and slowly letting it out. Sometimes I think you should have been born in a brothel. I bet the girls at Rupert's place could use your kind of talents. Maybe that is a career choice for you, since my father won't live forever. And you can't expect to marry, since you have nothing. I sit still and press my lips together. I look straight into her beautiful sapphire eyes. I would only work there if you were there, so that I could make sure you were always taken care of after a night of debauchery. She gasps and gives me a dirty look. You are just jealous, Mina. I turn and start walking out of the room. That is exactly right. I am jealous of you, Helena. I can't think of a better way to spend my free time than allowing men to have their way with me, regardless of the damage done to my body or my soul. I stood there looking at her body. I love you, Helena. Get in the bath and put your head back. Close your eyes and let the water heal your body. You have to heal and be ready for this weekend. She lays her head back on the pillow at the foot of the tub and closes her eyes. Someday, Mina, you will understand why women have to put up with so much to get the things that they want. I stop at the doorway. If allowing men to abuse me is the only way to achieve my goals, I will take my knowledge and go live in a cave in the thickest part of the forest. I look at her and pray she can't see that I am not at all joking. Then I turn and walk out the door into my room so that I can get dressed. I look back out the window, seeing that the sun has burned off the fog. Damn you, Helena. Your selfishness has once again robbed me of one of my favorite things. I look out at the pond hidden in a private cove on my uncle's 500 acres of wilderness. God, I can't wait for summer. I love summer. The warmth of the sun, the long days, and the utterly beautiful nights. During the summer months, there are grand parties and so much fun that it would be over before I knew it. The trick was to not think about tomorrow and just enjoy the summer night's enchantments. This summer is going to be unique for both myself and Helena. There is going to be a grand ball to introduce us to the world. This party means possible matches for future husbands for Helena and opportunities for me to finally get out of her shadow. Of course, Helena was so excited that she had already started planning her dress and who she would invite before the snow even thought about melting. Every time we meant to sit down and start talking about the grand ball that is coming up, I would be the one sitting and listening while Helena would go through all the ideas that she had. Most of the time, I just tuned her out and went to my place where I could think about what my hopes were for this magical night. Mina, aren't you even thinking of what color you want your dress to be? Or who you hope to see there? She asks me as if what I think matters to her. Not right now, Helena. I'm having too much fun listening to your plans. Once you have finished, I will start thinking about what I will do. I sit in the chair across from the tub so we can continue talking. You enjoy dressing up, and I feel like it's a waste of time. There is a man out there for both of us, and they will find us with or without a grand ball or fancy dresses. She doesn't say another word, and I tilt my head back against the robes hanging on the wall. I must have drifted off while she was soaking in the tub because the sound of Helena's voice startled me. I look at her, still drowsy, her face coming into focus. Oh, Mina, you are hopeless. Just because there might be someone floating around the world that was made just for you, it doesn't mean you should sit and wait for him. Get out and start looking. There are a lot of flavors that you can try while you are waiting for the right one. I lift my head up and shake it. Helena, I am perfectly fine without trying every sample presented to me. I lift my head back up and look right at her. Fine, do what you want. But I am going to enjoy tasting all of the samples that there are in life. I am sure you have already put quite a dent in that list of all those samples. I smile at her. You only have one life to live, and you should live it. She looks at me like I should know better than to say anything. What were you doing the whole time I was in the bathtub? I've been sitting here with you, listening to your story. You didn't even get my clothes ready for me. Helena stands there, looking at me, pouting like a child. Helena, I am not your servant, but I will go and get your clothes ready if you want me to, because I love you. Oh, never mind, Mina. Just give me my robe. I will go next door and get myself dressed. She looks at me annoyed. I will meet you downstairs for lunch. Okay, Helena. I will see you downstairs. She walks past me, grabbing the robe out of my hands. I love you, cousin. I do. Sitting at the table waiting for us is my Aunt Clara and Uncle John. When I was 5 years old, my parents died tragically in an accident. I wasn't old enough to remember them. When I was younger, I was told that when I was ready, my mind will open and all of my memories of my parents and what happened to them would come rushing back. I survived the trauma of the accident by repressing the memories of it. I always have admired my brain's ability to protect itself and the body as if the brain is your guardian angel. But the memory of my parents' death isn't the only memories I lost. I can hardly remember them at all. And every day that goes by, trying not to forget what little I do remember of them kills me that much more. I never understood why my father's sister took me in instead of my mother's family. I stopped trying long ago to understand, and I quit waiting for them to want to see me. I thought for sure that when I turned 18 and tried to contact them, they would be more than welcoming. It turned out that they didn't care that my mother was dead or that I was alive. I've heard rumors that my mother's family did not accept my parents' love for each other, and that when she married him, they banished her from their family. Their loss, I guess. My Uncle John wasn't my Aunt Clara's first choice. My grandfather arranged their marriage before he passed away. She told me that even though she didn't love him at first, over the years their love had grown. Now it is rare to see the two of them apart from each other. Mina, are you feeling well? I hear my aunt's voice. It is soft and sweet, like angel kisses. I walk over to her and kiss her cheek softly. Yes, Auntie, I feel fine. I am a little tired, but I think it's because I didn't sleep well last night. Is there something bothering you, my dear? I can feel Helena's eyes burning into my soul. She is so self-centered that she thinks everything is about her. This time, it has nothing to do with her. No, Uncle, everything is fine. Is there something bothering you, my dear? I can feel Helena's eyes burning into my soul. She is so self-centered that she thinks everything is about her. This time, it has nothing to do with her. No, Uncle, everything is fine. I have never been a good liar, so I try only to tell half-truths. I was having strange dreams last night that was causing me to toss and turn. Nothing that is too serious. I look at him, hoping that he lets my lousy night of sleep go. I see my uncle give my aunt a knowing look, and she quickly shakes her head. I wonder what all that is about. I sit down and glance at all of the food. I look up at my aunt. I am not that hungry. If it is okay with you, I would like to go lay down. I think the weather is getting to me. My aunt tilts her head and smiles at me. My uncle's voice booms over her and fills the room. That would probably be a good idea. I am going to take Helena into town to see about having her dress made for the big event this summer. I will bring you next week so that I can spend time with you both separately. I smile at him. You can stay here and rest, Mina. He smiles a toothy grin, his blue eyes dancing with joy. Thank you, Uncle. I am exhausted, and honestly, I don't even know what kind of dress I want. I am telling him the truth. I have never been into fashion. I couldn't tell you if two colors look right side by side, or if stripes and paisley should be paired together. Most of the time, my aunt or Emma will go out and have dresses made for me, and I am content with that. I smile at him. Thank you, Uncle. It will give me a few more days to think about what I would like to wear. I push myself away from the table and stand up. I walk over to my aunt's seat and kiss her forehead. She looks up at me. I hope you are feeling better when you get up. She smiles at me. I am sure I will, Auntie. I know I am just tired. I turn from the table and go back up to my room. My uncle's house is enormous. Sometimes, while walking through the hallways, I imagine that have been living in the house secretly, and they roam freely. We would never know if one house worker started residing in the walls of the house. I think it would be creepy not knowing if someone has drilled holes into the wall and is watching your every move like you were their entertainment for the evening. I start walking up the stairs. It is a beautiful staircase. that has a landing that would allow you to make dramatic entrances or speeches. My uncle loves giving speeches from the landing. I get to the top of the stairs and find myself facing a giant portrait of my grandfather and another one of my father. I hate these pictures. They make me feel as though they are both watching my every move. I walk down the hallway to my room and go inside, locking the door behind me so that I can hear if someone comes in while I am sleeping. I walk over to my 4-poster bed and turn down my feather comforter. I remove my shoes and take off my clothes. Loving the feel of satin sheets on my bare skin, I lay there, naked, and close my eyes. I make sure that the covers are close in case I hear the door unlock and I have to cover myself quickly. I lay my head on the overstuffed feather pillow and feel the weight of my head make a nest out of it. I close my eyes and listen to the sound of the rain outside. A roll of light thunder booms in the distance, and I feel myself drifting off. Lay flat on your belly, Mina. I feel the warmth of his bare chest as he climbs on top of me from behind. He nibbles my earlobes and kisses my neck, sucking on it from time to time. How is my sweet Venus today? The blood rushes to my head. My ears are on fire, and I feel my slit tighten, releasing warm quim. He asks again, how is my little sweet Venus? I try to think of words to say, but only a low moan of desire comes out. Wet. Venus is wet. I'm going to take my time with you, and when I think that you cannot take any more, I am going to take that sweet innocence of yours. He leans over and runs his tongue slowly down my neck, my body trembling and my breathing deepening into long, deep, cleansing breaths, letting me release every care in the world. Every cell of my body tells me I want this man. I don't know who he is, but he has become irresistible. I start going out of my mind when he starts sucking at the base of my neck. My hips lift, telling him that I am ready. Not yet, he whispers, caressing my spine. Once he reaches my tailbone, I feel him lift off of me. I turn to face him and he scoops me into his arms, taking me up the stairs. He lays me down on the king-size 4-poster bed, looks deep into my eyes and whispers, "Trust me." I do. Those 2 simple words slip out effortlessly, without me even thinking first. Surprised by the sound of 2 seemingly innocent words, I look up and smile, nervously biting my lip. Our eyes meet, and he smiles back at me. I don't know why I trust him. I don't even know his name. I know that I can see my soul reflected at me through his eyes. I feel beautiful, wanted, even cherished when I am with him. Do I dare to think that this could be a glimpse of what love might feel like? I watch as he lifts himself off of me and begins to walk to the foot of the bed, grabbing my ankles. I tighten my leg muscles, making it easier for him to pull me towards him. Gently, he places his soft, warm lips on the inside of my ankle, kissing it softly, moving slowly up my calf to my knee, then my inner thigh. The air fills with the sweet scent of my arousal, calling him like a tempest. My little nymph is growing hungry, isn't she? I smile at him with hunger in my eyes. He takes the sheet on the bed and ties one ankle to each post. I am entirely spread eagle and about to explode. Every fiber in my body needs him to put me out of my misery. A wicked smile covers his face, looking into my eyes. I hear him say again, "Trust me." I pause, trying to get the words out of my mouth. I whisper, "I do." He removes his shirt, revealing his chiseled torso. My body fills with excitement. I can see where his jeans touch the triangle of his body, and I am desperate to know what is hiding beneath. I am overwhelmed with emotion at the sight of his bronzed skin. "Please," I beg. He looks down at me and smiles. "Not yet." I watch him undo his buckle and pull the metal button, releasing his rock-hard length. He smiles coyly at me and places his broad, muscular shoulders between my knees. "My God, you are beautiful." Even his voice is intoxicating. I can feel my hips start to grind against him, back and forth as if they have a mind of their own, and I have no control. The smile on his face says that he feels it too. He starts kissing my knees, my inner thighs, all the way to the magical bridge that connects my mound to my leg. He starts massaging me with his tongue. That intoxicating sensation that I have experienced once before shoots through my body. I want to bring my legs together, but can't. My breathing increases, each breath deeper than the one before. He lets out a chuckle from deep in his chest, then dives straight into my core. His tongue is French kissing my folds. He penetrates deep into my honeypot, desperately looking for my essence. A deep growl comes from deep inside of him. I let out a moan, and he retreats to my clitoris. He sucks on it, flicking it with his tongue. I start rocking back and forth, trying desperately to increase the intense sensation. My core releases another squirt, and he stops without warning, leaving every nerve in my body begging for more. I am panting in delight, like a bitch in heat, with the enjoyment of what he has done with my body. I feel his jeans moving between my legs, and I quiver with excitement. His body is directly above mine. He leans down and kisses my mouth. I can taste my arousal, and it is intoxicating. No wonder he loves it so much. It is like sweet summer peaches that are so ripe they peel with just the lightest of touch. He places his legs between mine, hooking my hips with his thighs. He reveals his bulging erection that is desperately trying to free itself, wanting to come out and play with its tight sheath. He starts grinding against me, and we find our rhythm together like a heartbeat that has become one. Yes! I let out a scream of total desire. I open my eyes and see that he is watching my body jerk and squirm at every new touch. A roguish smile comes to his lips when he sees me watching him. His curious fingers plunge deep inside of me, moving in and out repeatedly, then faster and harder. He places his palm on my pubis and dives deeper and deeper until he finds the hidden treasure he has been searching for this whole time. I can feel myself tightening around his long fingers, the moisture almost gushing out of me. I am so overwhelmed with desire that I cannot think, and I pant. Please, make me come. Not yet, my darling. I want to explore the wonders of this new territory. I see that wild look in his eyes, and I feel his fingers exploring again. Each digit knows where its target is. I feel them pressing on me. Please, please, I beg you, please stop the torture. Please, please give me the release that I so desperately need. I feel the release of my legs from the bedpost. They are limp and useless. He places a pillow next to my hips and gently turns my body onto it. Tucking my legs up under me, he exposes my firm round butt cheeks and my tiny, tight rectum. His fingers begin to rub, and he plunges his fingers into my quim dripping center, making sure it is plenty lubed. His fingers press gently on my ass, begging for it to open. I lean back against him. The building desire is more than I can take. Without skipping a beat, he plunges his rock-hard erection deep inside and knocks the breath out of me. As I catch my breath again, he starts pumping wildly with his hard erection. His finger is playing with my ass, causing my core to tighten. Is my little Venus ready? The sound of his voice sends me over the edge. Yes, yes, I can barely speak. A moan escapes my lips. I hear his breathing and feel the sweat dripping off his body. The smell of our sex fills the room. I feel his torso on mine, his hips thrusting, his breath on my ear. Let us come together. Faster and faster, he finds a mind-numbing rhythm. I give my body over to the sensation and fullness of his cock. I call out to him, yes, yes, more, right there. Don't stop, don't stop. I can't hold back another second. I need this. Please, I beg you, make me come. His arm reaches around my body, his fingers rubbing and flicking my clit with excitement. That's it, right there. Harder. Please, please. Yes, don't stop. Pressure builds up in me, and without warning, the warm, sweet juices start flowing out of my body and cover him and his jeans. He leans over me, whispering, "My turn, Venus." He starts thrusting in and out again as my sheath responds and tightens. My body starts to milk his hot, sweet manhood until every drop empties into my body. The thought of absorbing him into my body sends total erotic satisfaction to me. He rolls onto his side next to me, wrapping his arms around me. He pulls me into him and kisses the back of my neck. Did I please you, Mina? The sound of my name wakes me. I sit up and realize that I have slept most of the day away. As I hear my door unlocking, I run into the bathroom. I need to get cleaned up and dressed. I know Helena won't follow me in here. The only real privacy she allows me. Are you asleep, Mina? No, I have been up for a little while now. I am just getting cleaned up a little. Cleaned up? From what? I come out of the bathroom with my clothes on and a hand towel. I just needed to freshen up after my nap. I always wash my face when I wake up. It gives me a fresh outlook on the world. You would know that if you didn't sleep half the day away. I sleep the day away because life doesn't start until after dark. I look at her. She is just standing there smiling. Her blonde hair perfectly curled, and her blue eyes are shining like stars in the middle of the day. Her skin is so tan that it makes her red lipstick look dull. Her teeth are as white as the fresh snow, and they look fake. What are you looking at, Mina? I was just curious. Are your teeth that shade of white because of all the semen you have swallowed? Her jaw drops, and I can't help but smile. What crawled up your ass? Nothing has crawled up my butt. Did you pick out a dress today? Don't change the subject, Mina. Something is bothering you. Okay, if you really must know, I don't like it when you barge into my private space as you do. Someday, I might have company. And if you barge in, like you always do, I would be horrified. Helena stands there for a moment, looking at me skeptically. You're kidding, right? She holds eye contact with me, and I shake my head no. Are you thinking about taking Rupert up on his offer? God, no! I'm just asking you to please respect my privacy for future possibilities. Well, when the future arrives, let me know. Then I will respect your privacy. Anyway, enough of this ridiculous conversation. I want you to see the dress I have picked out for our big party. Oh, and we are having guests for dinner tonight. Who is coming this evening? Is it formal? No, it's just dinner. The Michalio family is coming over. I think my father wants to fix me up with one of their boys. I know the older son likes me. I like to toy with him, but I am not interested in either one. When you say toy with him, what does that mean exactly? This may come as a shock to you, but I don't sleep with every guy that comes my way. I have standards, and he doesn't meet them. Is he a troll? Or disfigured somehow? No! She starts laughing hysterically. His younger brother might be a little trollish, but he is just nice. I am so confused by her ideas and the way her brain justifies how she thinks and the things she does. I'll show you what I mean tonight at dinner. Right now, I want to show you my dress and start making plans for the summer. All right then, lead the way. I follow her down the hall to her room. Our bedrooms are on the same floor. There is a long hallway that separates Helena's door from mine. When we were kids, we joked about cutting a hole into the wall that divides our room so that we could sneak into each other's rooms at night. I am so glad that we never did. We both have sleeping areas with huge 4-poster beds and a couch. There are windows that let the light come in and benches built into the window. The bathroom is separate from the sleeping area, a luxury that I am glad we have. Off the bathroom, we have beautifully lit dressing rooms, complete with walk-in closets, floor-length mirrors, and a professional-style makeup table. For Helena, I am the expert makeup artist. The only difference between our rooms is the style that we have decorated them in and the window. Her room is dark, everything black, white, and blood red. My window looks out over a private pond. You can look out as far as you could see into the woods around us. What Helena's window looks directly into the beautifully manicured courtyard, but that everyone inside the house could see. Helena always said that my window is ideally placed so that I would never forget that I was free, and hers just showed how captive she is. I couldn't help but wonder if that was the purpose of our rooms, or if it was only chance that gave me something so beautiful. I smiled at the window and walked into Helena's dressing room and her giant walk-in cathedral for clothes. Helena, have you ever thought about going through your closet and giving some of these clothes to the less fortunate? I have never even seen you wear some of this stuff. I used to give them to you. She looks at me with a smug smile on her face. But now that you are bigger than I am, I guess that giving them to the poor is something I should do. Or you could do it for me, since you will have plenty of time while I'm gone. Gone? Where are you going? And I am not bigger than you. I am taller than you. Helena put the dress on a hanging rod and opened the packaging that protects her dress. Oh my Lord, Helena. Does Uncle have any idea what you bought? Do you think he will let you leave the house in that? She laughs wildly. Of course Father knows. He was there when I bought it, silly Mina. I look in complete shock at what was in the dress bag. Hanging on the rod is the reddest of red dresses. The bodice is pure silk, red lace. There is a skin-toned fabric under the lace of her dress to hide the skin of her belly and her breasts. The lace is low cut to show off her cleavage and has straps over her shoulders. Only a single button in the middle of her shoulder blades holds the bodice to her body. From her shoulder blades to the small of her back is bare, olive-covered skin. The lace comes over her hips, hugging every inch of her body tightly. And just below her hips, red silk flows to the ground with a slit in the skirt going up the left leg, ending just below her hip. Uncle would never let me leave the house in a dress like that. That's because I'm his real daughter, and that makes me his favorite. Besides, Father is going to introduce us to the world, my darling. It's time we started dressing like real women. If you say so. Why do you have to stoop so low and rub salt in an open wound? I didn't cause the death of my parents. Helena can be heartless sometimes. Besides, you do remember that my father just happened to be your mother's favorite brother. She looks at me and smiles. Your father was her only brother, little Mina. I roll my eyes and walk over to the dress. I still think you can be a woman, an attractive woman, and not show off half of your body. What happened to keeping our gifts wrapped up until it was time to unwrap them after marriage? Helena laughs wildly. Times are changing, Mina. If you don't get with the program, you will be left behind. She looks at me, her eyes sharp and severe. I am not trying to injure you more. I am simply reminding you that even though we are like sisters, we are still only cousins. I can do no wrong in the eyes of my father. Anyway, enough talk about the dress. Let's get my hair and makeup on so I can get going. I exhale loudly and roll my eyes. Lead the way, madam, and I shall do whatever you ask of me. I bow down as low as I can, as if I am standing before the Queen of England herself. After you, your majesty. I laugh inside while watching her strut around. Fine then, be that way. I am only asking you to be happy for me and start getting excited, because you are a real party pooper today, my darling. I am so sorry that I am raining on your parade, Helena. I will be happy for you, and I won't say any more about your dress, other than the fact that it is beautiful. Thank you, Mina. That is all I'm asking of you. We should start getting ready for dinner. I don't want to be late meeting the man you toy with and his trollish brother. Okay, will you send the new girl in on your way out? I want her to help me get dressed and pick up this mess. I will. Just try to remember that she is new and to be kind. Helena stood there looking at me, stunned, as if I slapped her in the face. I am always kind, Mina. It is their job to make sure that things are right, and they should know how to do them. I smile at Helena. See you at dinner. As I walk out, I see the new girl standing nervously in the hall. I stop and smile at her. Don't worry. She looks at me, relaxes a little, and smiles. Being nervous will cause you to make mistakes. Just look at Helena like a doll that you must treat with the utmost respect. Do everything she tells you to do, and remember to tell her how beautiful she is. Don't ever ask questions about things you might see, and get out as quickly as you can. She grins and nods her head. I grab her arm as she walks by me and whisper in her ear. Her name is Miss Helena. You must call her that. She is not your equal, and will have you fired if you fail to recognize that she is the center of the universe. Don't try to be her friend. You are not her friend. In her eyes, you are inferior. It is a privilege to even breathe her oxygen. Do you understand? Yes. Good. When you finish with Helena, go to the kitchen. There will be a reward for you if you don't make her mad. Okay. I release her arm. She lifts her head and walks into the room. I stay in the hallway to listen for a moment. Hello, Miss Helena. I am... Who you are does not matter. You are here to make sure that I am happy and clean up this mess. Don't bother telling me your name. I will never remember it because I have more important things to remember. I will call you whatever I like, and you will respond. Most of the time, I will most likely call you girl, since that is what you are, a girl, a chore girl. Your new name is Chore Girl. I am a genius. A brief moment of silence, and then, yes, my name is Chore Girl. Thank you, Miss Helena, for an excellent name. What would you like me to do for you? Good girl.